Hello, I'm Wayne Hilborn, and this is a lecture on idealism, why science only supports idealism and does not support materialism at all. So this is my lecture entitled Eternalism, Externalism, and the End of Brain Memory, the case for the external memory hypothesis. Marty McFly, in the Back to the Future movie series, was unaware that he was about to stumble into a serious physics lesson. Wait a minute, Doc, are you telling me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean? So, he's learning that all moments in time exist forever. Let's begin with everyone's favorite accidental philosopher, Marty McFly. His DeLorean didn't just leap across time because of plutonium and Hollywood whimsy. It worked theoretically because the block universe is real. According to Einstein's proven special relativity, all moments, past, present, future, exist simultaneously in a four-dimensional space-time loaf. As Einstein wrote in a condolence letter to a widow of his friend Michel Besso, for us believing physicists, the distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. Thus, when Marty visits 1955 in the past, or 2015, which was his future in 1984, he isn't traveling to a ghost of a moment, but a fully real, eternally existing coordinate on the space-time block. And if those moments are permanently real, where do memories reside? Do we drag them around in our gray jelly? That's like saying a library's worth of books is kept inside the delivery truck. The entire Netflix library is in your phone. The younger twin paradox in relativity proves the same point. The younger twin returns younger because time didn't pass for them the same way. This isn't just a time travel party trick. It's a clear demonstration that all time is equally real. The universe is static and eternal. All moments exist, and this leads us to the inevitable conclusion that memory does not need to be internal. Memory could be external, and there are mechanisms that make it so. Entanglement is instant. But let's talk about brain memory. Brain memory is a dang redundant myth. Let's be direct. Brain-based memory is an unproven hypothesis, not a fact, not even a consistent theory, just a long-standing assumption. We feel separate. It's not useful in explaining consciousness either. If brain were so well understood, why are top neuroscientists still looking? Francis Crick, co-discoverer of DNA, spent the last decades of his life hunting for the neural correlates of consciousness. Why? Because he didn't find them. Neither Gerald Edelman, a Nobel laureate, or Christopher Koch, or Giulio Tonini, yes, the integrated information theory guy, they are still scrambling for models like microtubules, Stuart Hameroff and Penrose, or cortex-based topologies, or emergent networks. If we knew how memory worked, these people would be writing cookbooks, not grant proposals. So let's put it plainly. If the brain stored memories, you'd expect us to have found the storage units by now. Instead, we're stuck in a neuroscience version of Where's Waldo, except no one knows what Waldo looks like. And think about the absurdity. Why would your brain permanently store the license plate of a car you once saw at Taco Bell? Or the exact smell of the middle school gym socks, or the precise tone of your grandmother's laugh? The specific pattern of wallpaper at your childhood dentist? The full lyrics to a commercial jingle you heard twice. The feeling wet socks during a storm in 8th grade. That one weird look your ex gave you across the parking lot. Why would you store all that forever in a vulnerable, oxygen-dependent, squishy organ? The answer is you wouldn't, and nature didn't, because memory is external. Now, external memory and the physics of now. The external memory hypothesis, by Wayne Hilborn, myself, states that memories are not stored in the brain, but are accessed from external, eternal block universe through quantum entanglement. The brain acts as an antenna, not a hard drive. An antenna. Like Nikola Tesla told everyone, his brain is a receiver. This isn't speculation. It's the only model consistent with established physics. The block universe eternalism. Einstein's relativity renders all times equally real. If memories of the past are real, they exist. No storage necessary. Quantum entanglement, as proven in the Bell's inequality test. Aspect, 1982, Zeilinger Nobel Prize, 22 entangled parties instantaneously affect each other across space. As John Bell put it, either the world is non-local or we must give up realism. And we're not giving up realism. I'm not giving up realism. My definition of realism is different because I don't assume brain memory. So I don't. My idealism is my view of reality, but that won't make sense to some people. But reality is really idealism because we're sharing a common dream. So we accept that the universe is non-local, though. That is a better way to describe it scientifically. A dream isn't a scientific term. So what we do is we say that our memories are entangled non-locally, and that everything's external. Because quantum entanglement, it explains this us as giant thought forms. That means everything is entangled with everything else. That's what non-local means. The block universe is an interwoven, connected lattice of information. Memory access isn't local because nothing is local. In short, you recall your third grade birthday party, not because your hippocampus stored it in jelly, but because your mind tuned into that eternal moment via entangled access. Just like a radio tunes into a specific broadcast. You're not hauling the concert around in your pocket. You're picking up the eternal broadcast. So, now this vindicates external memory hypothesis, EMH, vindicates every religion. Religion had it right, and so did Einstein. Let's align this with the major spiritual text. You'll be shocked or not to learn that eternalism and externalism are already embedded in the world's wisdom traditions. Christianity. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Jeremiah 1:5 clearly implies pre-existence. Hinduism. The soul is never born, nor does it die. Bhagavad Gita 2:20. All moments of identity exist forever. Buddhism. The Akashic Records concept is virtually a poetic description of the external memory field. Islam. The preserved tablet. And they also have not a leaf falls, but that he knows it. Quran 6:59. All information is eternally accessible. Eternally. Einstein calls it eternalism, or people call it block universe eternalism. Judaism, the end is declared from the beginning. Isaiah 46:10. Einstein himself said, "The religion of the future will be a cosmic religion." What I'm teaching you. It should transcend personal God and avoid dogma and theology, based on a religious sense arising from the experience of all things natural and spiritual as a meaningful unity. He wasn't being vague, he was describing a block universe idealism. So we're all entangled forever and ever, amen. So let's talk briefly about why entanglement is instant. Quantum wave functions don't collapse through some classical ticking mechanism. Instead, as the Wigner's friend paradox shows, observation collapses the wave function from the observer's perspective. But if all observers are entangled, then consciousness is a web and memory is access, not storage. Wigner's friend is an expansion of the Schrodinger's cat thought experiment, where the supervising scientist in my version would find a live cat if he was positive thinker, because there is no measurement problem that's solved by expectation. There's a weight of thought, expectation. Expectation, faith runs the caboodle, causes all quantum collapses, even into the perceived past. So expectation runs our universe. There is now, which creates eternally backwards and eternally forwards, which in the past changes to bring us what we want. And that sounds maybe a little hard to grasp for some people that don't quite understand all the implications of instant. So the math, you'll find it in the Hilbert space formalism of quantum mechanics. Any vector in the space is instantly accessible via projection and entangled state, measurement, and entangled states collapse globally. That's why entangled particles are not two particles. They're entangled. They're one system. And instant, so retrocausally also entangled. They affect the past, and it's that Wigner's friend collapsing. So okay, so you're watching Schrodinger's cat, and you're a positive thinker. So the cat comes out alive, but then a group of scientists comes to your lab, and you're inside your own little Schrodinger's box alone with your cat. You're a happy scientist with a happy cat, live cat, but they all expect to see the cat dead because they're all pessimistic. And their way of thought, there's so many of them that expect to see a dead cat, that changes your whole internal many worlds thing going on with the cat and everything like that. So it actually go retroactively before. So you'll end up finding the dead cat, even though you're an optimist. So you can be optimistic all you want if you're going to be met with all the pessimistic scientists at your door in a Wigner's friend, retrocausal, teleological fashion. Because the universe is just Wigner's friend if you replace expectation with probability, or probabilities with expectation in the description. The mistake was using the word probabilities in quantum mechanics. It should be expectation, and that's why and expectation is another word for faith. So, internal minds in an external memory universe. If memory is external and the universe is eternal, then consciousness is not in the body. Rather, the body is in the consciousness. The body is in the mind. The body is in the first Hermetic principle. This leads us to the punchline. Earth Air, our poetic name for this idealist realm, is a dream within mind, navigated by antenna, brains, accessing the eternal memory field. Well, actually, we're accessing the mind, which accesses the eternal memory field. We are not beings with memories. We are moments being remembered. The dream logic of our lives, the improbabilities, the déjà vu, the impossible but meaningful coincidence, only makes sense if this is a... I'm going to use the term dream. Only makes sense if this is a shared dream running on external memory inside a unified field of consciousness. You are in a dream now, but not a hallucination, a teleological, orchestrated dream. You can't create a simultaneous simulation from without. We built what we are from within. We built consciousness upon consciousness upon consciousness. A consciousness network of entangled observers surfacing experiences from the eternal block. There is no other options. Brain memory has not been proven. The block universe proves all moments of memory still exist. Entanglement makes memory access non-local and instant. The external memory hypothesis aligns with both science and religion. Materialism is based on an assumption of brain memory, which is based on assumption of separation. People think brain memory feels obvious. It seems obvious to them that the memories are stored in the brain because they are not smart enough to understand there's an alternative. And if you're watching this video, then you probably are smart enough to teach people there's an alternative. And this is a topic that's pretty important. There's nothing more important than learning this topic, if you're a human.